Hare Krishna everyone. So we are continuing to read the book called Teachings of Queen Kuntī by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host Sulalita Devidasi, and we are continuing chapter number 10, the property of the impoverished. Krishna is Akinchana Vitta, the only solace for one who has lost everything material. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Krishna says, if someone wants me, but at the same time wants material prosperity, he is a fool. Unquote. Krishna is so kind that if one wants material prosperity, but at the same time wants to become a devotee, Krishna makes him a failure in material life. Therefore, people are very much afraid of coming to Krishna consciousness. Oh, they think, my material prosperity will be finished. Generally, people go to a church or a temple to pray to God for material prosperity. Oh God, give us our daily bread. But although they are approaching God for material prosperity, give me this, give me that, they are also considered pious because they approach God, unlike the atheists who never approach God. Why shall I approach God? The atheist thinks. I shall create my own wealth, and by advancement of science, I shall be happy. One who thinks, for my own prosperity, I shall depend on my own strength and my own knowledge, is a dushkriti, a most sinful person. But one who thinks, my prosperity depends on the mercy of God, is pious. It is a fact that without the sanction of God, nothing can be achieved. Tavatanu ridam tanupekshitanam. We have discovered many methods by which to counteract distress. But when freedom from such distress is not sanctioned by God, these methods will fail. For example, a sick man may have very good medicine and a qualified physician. But if we ask the physician, can you guarantee the life of this patient? The doctor will always say, no, I cannot do so. I try my best, that's all. An intelligent doctor knows the ultimate sanction is in the hand of God. I am simply an instrument. If God does not want the patient to live, then all my medicines and all my scientific medical knowledge will fail. Somehow I always meet very intelligent doctors who think exactly like this. The ultimate sanction, therefore, is Krishna. Those who are foolish do not know this, and therefore they are called mudha, rascals. They do not know that although whatever they are doing may be very good, if it is not ultimately sanctioned by God, by Krishna, it will all be a failure. On the other hand, a devotee knows, with whatever intelligence I have, I may try to become happy, but without Krishna's sanction, I shall never be happy. This is the distinction between a devotee and a non-devotee. As mentioned before, Krishna says, quote, one who tries to approach me to become Krishna conscious, but at the same time wants to become materially happy, is not very intelligent. He is wasting his time. Unquote. Our main business is to become Krishna conscious. This is the main business of human life. If we waste our time striving for material improvement and forget to chant Hare Krishna, that will be a great loss. Therefore, Krishna says, Ami vigya eir murkhe vishaya ke nadiba. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 22.39. Quote, a rascal may ask some material prosperity from me in exchange for discharging devotional service. But why shall I give him material prosperity? Rather, whatever he has, I shall take away. When our material assets are taken away, we become very morose. But that is the test. That was stated by Kṛṣṇa himself to Yudhishthira Maharaja. Yudhishthira Maharaja inquired from Krishna, quote, we are completely dependent on you, but still we are suffering materially so much. Our kingdom has been taken away, our wife has been insulted, and our enemies attempted to burn us in our house. How can this be so? Unquote. Krishna replied, Yasyaham anugrinami harishyeta dhanam shanai. Quote, yes, that is my first business. If I especially favor someone, then I take away all his sources of income and place Krishna. Okay, I take away all his sources of income and place him into great difficulty. Haribo. In this way, Krishna is very dangerous. Okay, Hare Krishna. I have actual experience in this connection. I do not wish to narrate this whole story, but it is a fact that I received Krishna's special favor in this way. When I was 25 years old, my Guru Maharaja, my spiritual master, ordered me to preach. But I thought, first of all, I shall become a rich man, and then I shall use my money to finance the preaching work. I had good opportunities to become a very rich businessman. An astrologer even told me that I should have become as rich as the wealthiest man in India. There were very good chances. I was the manager of a big chemical factory. I started my own factory, and the business was very successful. But eventually everything collapsed, and in this way I was forced into the position of carrying out the orders of my Guru Maharaja. When all my material assets were taken away, then I approached Krishna, saying, you are my only shelter. Therefore, Krishna is akinchana vitta, the property of the materially impoverished. When one is bereft of all material opulences, then one turns to Krishna. And now I am realizing that I have not lost, but gained. So, to lose material opulences for Krishna's sake is not a loss. Rather, it is the greatest gain. When one becomes akinchana, having nothing to possess, Krishna becomes one's only riches. Expressing this understanding, Narottam Das Thakur says, Haha Prabhu Nanda Sutta Vrishabhanusuta yuta karunakaraha eibara Narottama dasa kahe na teliya rangapaya Tumi vina ke ache amara. Quote, Krishna, but for you I have nothing to claim. I have no possessions. You are my only possession. So please don't neglect me. Unquote. This position is very nice. When one does not depend on anything material, but simply depends on Krishna, one has attained the first-class position of Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Krishna is addressed as Akinchana Vitta. Quote, when one becomes materially impoverished, you are the only wealth. Unquote. Namo kinchana vittaya nivritta guna vrittaye. When one takes you as one's only possession, one immediately becomes free from the activities of material nature. Unquote. In other words, by accepting Krishna in this way, one attains the transcendental position of the Absolute, Ātmārāmāya. At that time, one becomes happy with you. That's a quote. At that time, one becomes happy with you. Krishna, you are happy with yourself. And one who surrenders to you becomes happy as you are. Unquote. There is no difference between Krishna's body and Kṛṣṇa himself. He is entirely self, entirely spirit. We, on the other hand, have a body that is different from ourselves. I am self, but I possess a material body. But when we actually become dependent on Krishna, one who is completely self-satisfied, we can also be self-satisfied with Krishna. Self-satisfied. Kaivalya Pataye Nama. The Mayavadi philosophers, the monists, want to become one with the Supreme. The Supreme is self-satisfied, and they also want to be self-satisfied by becoming one with the Supreme. Our philosophy of Krishna consciousness is the same, but instead of becoming one with Krishna, we depend on Krishna. That is actual oneness. If we simply agree to abide by the orders of Krishna and have no disagreement with him, we are actually situated in oneness, in actual oneness. The Mayavadi philosophers think, why shall I keep my individual, separate existence? I shall merge into the Supreme. But that is not possible. From the very beginning, we are separated parts of Krishna. Krishna, therefore, says in Bhagavad Gita, quote, my dear Arjuna, you should know that you, I, and all the persons assembled on this battlefield were individuals in the past. We are individuals at present, and in the future we shall continue to remain individuals. Unquote. Nityo nityanam chetanash chetananam. Krishna is the supreme, Nitya, the supreme living force among the innumerable living forces. We living entities, Jiva, are innumerable, Ananta. There is no counting how many we are. Similarly, Krishna is also a living entity, but he is the chief, the supreme living entity. That is the difference. one leader may have many followers. Similarly, Kṛṣṇa, the supreme living entity, is the supreme leader, and we are subordinate, dependent living entities. That we are dependent is not very difficult to understand. If Kṛṣṇa does not supply us food, we shall starve, because independently we cannot produce anything. Eko bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. Kṛṣṇa is maintaining everything, and we are being maintained. Therefore, Kṛṣṇa is the real predominator, and we should be willing to be predominated. That is our natural constitutional position. If we falsely want to become predominators in the material world, we are in illusion. We must give up this illusion and always try to be predominated by Kṛṣṇa. Then our life will be successful. Jai. Haribol. So, thank you so much for tuning in today. We have completed chapter number 10, and tomorrow we will read the next chapter, 11, entitled The Touch of Superior Energy. Jai. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please read along with us, check it out, share it with your friends, and we shall see you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.